Today on the channel, move over, Lon Chaney, as we got the Target Ultimate Edition exclusive Phantom of the Undertaker.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the Target exclusive Phantom of the Undertaker. But for all your Phantom of the Undertaker needs, better hit up Target. And I got to give a special shout out to the Mattel team for sending this my way for an early sneak peek, as this will be hitting Target stores very, very soon. So keep your eye out over there. And kudos to the Mattel team for thinking of me. Always appreciated it, of course. And of course, we're always going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And the Undertaker, no stranger to the Ultimate Edition line. We'll do some comparisons later on in this video here. You guys know how we do. But the Undertaker, looking only like the Phantom of the Undertaker could look. Never a huge fan of this era of Undertaker personally. And a lot of times around this is where they got a new Undertaker. Remember the old playground? Todd, you remember the playground. We both remember it very well. A lot of rumors started on the playground. Multiple Ultimate Warriors, you know. Guy Gardner's a loser, which is true with that haircut. Of course, we'll never forget that. And then, of course, the Undertaker. Oh, you know, he died. They got a new Undertaker to replace him. Things like that. And then there was kids like me saying, you know that Undertaker? He was on Survivor Series. He just debuted. That's not the Undertaker. That's Mean Mark Callis. And everybody just, it's crickets and chirping and nobody knows what you're talking about. Yeah, we all been there. We all been there. But anyways, we got the Undertaker right here looking pretty good. 3 heads for the Undertaker here. There is a lot of stuff, and I'm guessing a lot of reuse in this one, but we'll see once we dive in. Ultimate Edition, Undertaker, of course. The Phantom right there, like a young Lon Chaney. Don't call him Junior. Let's just call him Lon Chaney back then. His son is the Junior, and that's the way it works, of course. Undertaker right there, and then on the back of the package, got the glamour shot of the man, you got the glamour shot of the figure, you got the tail of the tape, and you got the blurb. We're playing all the hits on the back of the package. Just missing a cross sell is all it's missing right there. Height, 6'10", from Death Valley. Beautiful this time of year. However hot, Todd, however hot, but you're not too far from there, Todd McFarlane. Todd's hanging down in Arizona, of course. Finisher, the dreaded Tombstone. Career highlights, WWE Champion, Hall of Fame inductee, The Undertaker. Undertaker built his career by digging holes and taking souls. And we've both done some of that a time or two, Todd. And at Survivor Series 1995, he debuted one of his most memorable and menacing looks. Now with a ghoulish mask, the dead man eliminated 3 opponents in quick succession before sending his hated rival, Mabel, running for the back and knowing that he too would soon rest in peace. And you got to watch out. You don't want Mabel sitting on you. Just ask The Undertaker. Just ask the dead man himself. Rest in peace on the side, playing all the hits right there. You know we're here for the hits. We love the hits. We love the hits. We do. See you later. Goodbye. A little plastic prison right there for old Taker. Look at that. All kinds of stuff going on in here. And like I said, there is some reuse with this one, I do believe. But we're going to dive in. And we're going to find out for sure with this Phantom of the Undertaker here. I'm here for it, though. You know I'm here for it. I'm always here for it. I'm here for a figure or two. Especially a wrestling figure. Or a G.I. Joe figure. Or a McFarlane figure. Yes, of course, Todd. I won't leave you out. But we're going to pop these heads out. Pop Taker out, maybe. He's a big boy, of course. There it is. Come on. Might have to pick up one of these from my dad along the way. He's a big Taker guy for whatever reason. See you later. He must like him because he dressed as the Phantom of the Opera, maybe. Who knows? I think it's those big guys. You know those tall, big guys? They like to stick together. See you later. Goodbye. I've learned that. You know, they just stick together. It's like tall people party is what it is. That's what's going on. But let's dive into it here. Let's dive into all these accessories. Let's start it off. Only 1 extra set of hands. It doesn't feel ultimate unless there's 3 sets, personally. But we do get 2 gripping hands. We do get the menacing Undertaker hands. He's going to give you one of those kind of things, maybe. Or he's going to pull a Randy Orton on you. I'm not sure. Give you one of these kind of things, maybe. But he has got the purple gloved hands going on. The purple and black attack riding strong in this figure, as we do know. And we do get his tie here. might as well be a clip-on tie. Of course, I was a guy that had to wear a tie for many, many years. When I started, don't let me bore you, Todd. Don't fall asleep on this. When I started at a grocery store at 14, you had to wear a dress shirt and you had to wear a tie every single day. Man, oh man, I remember having to learn to tie that tie. I just repeatedly went through it, and I finally learned it, and I've never forgot it ever since. But I had to wear a tie for most of my working career, and then a suit for a lot of it as well. Can you think of this guy wearing a suit? Oh my gosh, what are we doing? But thankfully, in this day and age, I only have to bust out the suit maybe like 3 or 4 times a year, and probably the tie 5 times a year. So things have gotten a little bit lighter in the work world, of course. But we do got that striped tie, the purple and black attack. Once again, you got kind of that cloth rubber band over the top so you can get it over his head. Undertaker trying to be fashionable, I guess, in the ring is what he's trying to do right there. Now we do get that classic Undertaker hat. I believe we've seen this before with that last Legends release as well. You got the purple and black attack. Once again, we're seeing a theme here, are we not? But we've seen this hat before, and I believe we've seen this jacket, or at least kind of on the case of the jacket. I don't remember these purple pockets in the front, but I definitely remember feeling this kind of material. It's not quite a cloth material. It's not a plastic material either. I don't know what it is. I don't know what technically it is. I don't know my fabrics. This is where my wife comes in handy. She knows all of it. It's polyester. Is that what you're saying, Todd? Okay, it could be polyester. I'll take your word for it. I never doubt the McFarlane from the couch. We do got the jacket here. Now, this would be a great 2-in-1 figure, or heck, a 3, 4-in-1, whatever you want to do with all these extra heads and these kind of combinations. Jacket on, jacket off, tie on, tie off, hat on, hat off. Choose your own adventure with The Undertaker here. But now we're diving into The Undertaker himself. We're going to start with him right out of the package. I believe we've seen this body for Undertaker, and it makes sense using this body over and over. But he is very jacked up in the shoulders and the chest, but man, he's got a very thin torso. Maybe a little too thin in the torso area right there. It's just a little bit top heavy. This is where my eyes go. Yours may be different on that there, but definitely notice that right away. But you do got the black outfit throughout, all the way down to the purple down here around the boots there, looking good. Got a little silver, looking nice. You got the purple gloves, purple on the forearms, those kind of long glove, Three Musketeer type things going on there. You do get the black elbow pad over here as well. An interesting looking Taker. And then you got the tattoos, you got the pale skin. You know, he might live in Death Valley. He's just not seeing the sun. I don't know how he does it. I guess he wears a lot of clothes, I guess. But diving into this Undertaker head sculpt first off, interesting looking here, as it looks like the top of the head is like a brown color. It's like brown hair, red hair at the top, and then you got black down here. Interesting. I don't know if that's just mine or if that's how they all are, but that is a little different. So a little red going through the top. Of course, the big thing on this face here is you got the mask sculpted in. Very cool to get the mask sculpted in. Now we get it separate, and we'll dive into that in a second, but it is sculpted in right here. You got the creepy eyes back there. Got a very stoic face going on. You got the goatee as well. Looks like The Undertaker. There's no mistaking this guy for anybody but The Undertaker there. But then you get down to the second head sculpt with the mask here. You get very similar things going on, except this one, you got a little bit of teeth showing off that dental plan, I guess he's got at the funeral home. Who knows? But he's got a little teeth there, goatee going on. Very, very similar, not terribly different from the last one here. But the third head is very, very different, as it is the unmasked head for this Taker. So you can have an unmasked version, which I think is smart, because you might want to mix it up, whatever the reason may be. So you do have an unmasked Taker. Looks like Taker to me. You got the long hair, different hair kind of going on from this one, a little bit thinner in the front compared to this one here. But you do get the mask, so then you can put this mask on here if you want to. You can take it off. It gives you just a little extra stuff, a little extra if you want to here. So you can slide that on if that's a thing you want to do. It's up to you. You got to choose your own adventure, you know, but I do like that idea. You could have him holding the mask if you wanted to. There's a lot of different ways you can go with that. So not bad for the 3 heads, I don't think, on this guy here. But now diving into articulation, of course, arms go all the way around. You are limited by the shoulders on this one. You don't usually get that. A little bit limited. You just got to work your way around it. You do get the bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows, playing all the hits. Taking notes, Todd? You should. Hands back and forth, side to side. I believe the arms pop out. Yes, they do, like most Ultimates. So you can pop the arm off if you want to. Head removable, back, forth, side to side. Not a ton of movement out of the head because the hair gets in the way, as you can imagine. A lot of hula hoop room up top. Once again, that waist just a little thin for me. You do get the back and forth, side to side. You get those big old Taker splits. Man, he's ready to go. Then you got those G.I. Joe style drop down hips as well. Leg goes up for that big boot. Watch out for that, brother. You do get the thigh cut. Double jointed, unfortunately, pinned knees on this one. They're working their way. boot cut, and then you get ankles a little bit limited here by the stirrups down here. It looks like he's getting ready for to do some jazzercising or something. Got some stirrups right there, and then you got the toe articulation for Todd McFarlane in the black boots, looking very good. Of course, he should fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle. Save 10%. How about that? The old Phantom of the Undertaker rides again. Like I said, never been my favorite era of the Undertaker. You guys know me, I'm an underbiker guy, but I don't mind this one here. Now, this hat, I guess you might have to work your way into it a little bit. It does sit a little bit high on his head compared to some of the other ones, but it will go on there. And of course, this jacket just slides on very easily as well. We've been through that. We've dressed our wrestling figures a time or two, so we know what we're getting ourselves into. But we also know we did get some elite versions of this one once upon a time. The latest one was part of the Legends line, so we did get a little bit of reuse from that. Looks to be about the... no, it is a different jacket. No, it's... I don't know. I think it's the same jacket, but the purple pockets are new for sure. But it's a very similar jacket, if not the identical jacket there. But that makes sense. You're going to get the most out of your molds. Why would you not do that? The tie going to be the same as well. Yeah, it looks to be... No. This jacket might be different. Or this tie is different, which is interesting. So it is a different tie. Okay, I'm shocked at that. The hands look to be the same between those two. But we did get the old Phantom of the Undertaker a time or two before, as we do know. But we're not done with Ultimate Edition Undertakers. We're getting all eras of Taker. I'm surprised. I guess we need to get an Underbiker Ultimate Edition. There's got to be one of those coming eventually. We have not had that representation yet. But we've had some pretty good Takers so far. As far as the Ultimate Edition. This one probably being my favorite, more Ruthless Aggression style Undertaker. But a lot of Undertakers, man, just looking at the camera here, we got a lot of black figures. It's like going to a funeral or something is what it feels like, which is fitting for a guy like the Undertaker here. I didn't get the memo. I wore yellow. What was I thinking? But I'm rocking the Merciful Fate, so shout out to King Diamond, I guess. So kind of fits in a roundabout way there. But not a bad Undertaker. Not going to be my favorite right here. My biggest gripe with this Taker is about the waist. It just looks a little bit thin. But I think I'm going to display it with the jacket on, so it's definitely not the end of the world. But I do really like that we got the different head sculpts, and I like that we got one with mask that we can choose to have on or off, or hold in the air if we want to. I think that's a pretty cool idea from the Mattel team there. But there it is. Undertaker Target exclusive Ultimate Edition. Should be hitting stores fairly soon, depending when you're watching this. I guess if you're watching this a year from now, you missed it. Oh man, hard times, hard times. But let me know your thoughts on this Taker in the comments down below. Is this something you're after? Is this something you're picking up? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to both my YouTube channels. Don't forget Patreon YouTube channel memberships, the best way to support the channel. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show. Of course, my new podcast over where YouTube is, of course, where you're watching right now. You can watch the video cast or audio wherever podcasts are found. So for the Undertaker Ultimate Edition, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?